We welcome you back to Maples Pavilion. Barry Tompkins, Kathy Johnson-Clark. These are the 2002 Pac-10 Women's Gymnastics Championships. We want to remind you that weeknights at 10:30, it's The Last Word with Jim Rome. Romy telling it like it is on The Last Word. Weeknights at 10:30 right here on Fox Sports Net. We start the 4th rotation now. There are 7 rotations. Let's take a look at the team scores as they are at the moment. And remember, these scores are skewed because UCLA, for instance, has only been in 1 rotation. They've had byes in 2. At the end, it'll all catch up, I promise. Arizona, Stanford, Washington, ASU, Cal, and then Oregon State and UCLA still with a rotation behind. So that's after 3 of 7, and we move now to rotation number 4 here at Maples. And again, we talk about the floor at Maples Pavilion, which has a lot of spring in it. It's very different. And it was the subject of a 3-hour meeting, as Kathy pointed out earlier. Oregon State will be on vault, UCLA on bars, Cal on the beam, Arizona in Florex, and the byes, ASU, Stanford, and Washington. That's the 4th rotation, and we are just underway in that rotation. You're looking at California, Miho Maeda of California. Just a freshman, and we talked about this California team and the fact that they have been decimated both by a controversy, coaching change, and assorted other things.
You can just tell watching the body language of the gymnast right before the event, especially balance beam. The little idiosyncrasies, the concentration, the nerves. It's something to see when you find that very special beam worker who's calm and yet aggressive. It's a good combination when you find it.
Very deliberate is Maeda.
Now up on bars for UCLA, Onnie Willis. Next up for Oregon State on vault, Teresa Miho.
Been a very deliberate routine by Miho Maeda.
Front layout dismount. They don't have the same level of difficulty as the other teams in the competition. Now the level of their performance is not quite up to par as well. But hitting your routine, there's something to say about that.
Yep.
No falls. That's what you want to go for.
So that's Maeda of California on the beam. Let's go over to the bars now, and Onnie Willis of UCLA. One of the best.
Very dynamic bar worker. Huge swing in this routine. Watch for the height above the bar on her release move. And right here, reverse heck way up in the air. Good transition right to the handstand. This looks like the UCLA team I'm used to. They're really, really doing well on the uneven bars. They're the best team in the country on this event.
Hit that one pretty good, looked like. Let's go over to UCLA now. UCLA on the bars, and this is Jeanette Antolin, who is performing today because Yvonne Tusek is not available. We are trying to find out exactly what the situation is with Tusek.
We just got word it's illness.
So she is Tusek.
I knew you were gonna. I set you up.
Yeah, you did. Thank you for the high fastball.
Jeanette has been back on the team since February. Some personal difficulties, school difficulties, but finally back on the squad and doing very, very well.
Really did.
what you need on a championship team. People who can step right in any situation and come up with a big routine. They're very deep, this team.
Have a look at her dismount.
She swings so powerfully, kind of with reckless abandon. Always has. And that is a good landing.
Haven't seen too many of those today. So UCLA in only its second rotation, even though this is the fourth rotation, but UCLA had buys in 2 of them, and you can see why this is the #1 team in America. Very deep team. Let's go over to the vault for a moment now and see Lindsay Nelson of Oregon State.
Oregon State's having a very good competition so far.
Yep.
Oh, big jump on the landing on that.
A 9.85. So again, high score for Lindsay Nelson.
Next up on bars for UCLA, Dantzscher.
Let's go to Jamie Dantzscher now on bars for UCLA.
And this is a bar worker. I'm telling you, from technique to aggressive swing, big skills. Whoa! I mean, that's awesome.
See, now the other scores are so high. I mean, you almost, she sticks it. Now, how can you not give her a 10 based on the other scores?
Well, I'm not in disagreement with you, Barry.
I was just asking.
I tell you, there's not enough room. They do need to relook at the system. They just have to. If they really want to separate the gymnasts and the performances properly. But it's going to mean re-educating the audience, re-educating, and even re-educating the gymnasts to get them used to, you know what, 9.6 and 9.7 is not a bad score.
Absolutely.
But you got to save the really huge scores when somebody comes up there and does skills like this and does them well. Does them extremely well. You got to have a place to go.
So it's going to be interesting now. We've talked about how the scores are high right through the competition for performances that certainly were less than that by Jamie Dantzscher. So now what do? It's in the hands of the judges.
And see, and I actually saw this is being very, very picky. A tiny little deduction in there. On one of the cast hands and pirouettes, she went over, past vertical a little bit. Form was just a tiny bit off.
Next up on
and a 9.95, so
and
maybe
see,
they
there,
saw it.
the
Yep.
judges saw it.
There
Okay.
you are.
bars for UCLA, Doni Thompson.
Final performer on bars for UCLA, Doni Thompson.
And she has some beautiful technique on this event, too. Really an excellent bar worker. They all are.
Yeah. What a great discipline for UCLA. One big-time performance after another. And the crowd here chanting 10, 10, 10. A whole lot of UCLA people made the trip up here.
Way to go, bro.
No doubt a lot of them were here for UCLA's basketball game just down the road in San Jose on Thursday night.
What I like about this team, too, is they don't all do the same skills. There's a nice variety from competitor to competitor in terms of the level of difficulty and also the choice of their skills. It's very easy for the routines to start looking all the same because they pick the same elements to get their bonus points.
Now, what happened here, you think? Getting taped up here?
Oh, just an everyday thing on bars. You ever taken a look at a gymnast's hands?
Yeah, that's true.
You ever held hands with a gymnast?
I held hands with you. 9.95 for Doni Thompson to go with a 9.95 by Jamie Dantzscher. An excellent discipline for UCLA. We're coming back with more from the championships after this.